Hello. I was not expecting to be on here, but I am. And I just finished a session with a client, and I was just getting so much coming up. And I'm like, this calls for a reading. So we're here. It's funny too, because I wanted to record a video for you guys. It was a moon video this coming week. And I said, you know what? I think it'd be better for you guys if I had it later. So that didn't happen. Hello. Hey. I don't know if you guys heard this, but I heard like water in my ears, which is interesting. Um, but hello. How are you? I'm in the space. I feel like I'm just like landing, but also in the portal. And I just feel like it's a perfect time to do a reading. Um, Thank you. Hello, hello. So, from the title, all those represent, let me know where you're tuning in from. This is a Valentine's Day reading. To be honest, every day is Valentine's Day. If you have that attitude too, you'll relate to this. I'm not really big on it, whether single or in a relationship, but I do feel like this day triggers the subconscious on the idea of love, what that means. So I'm going to be channeling from that time. Hello, Toronto, Chicago, Texas. Hello, 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 Massachusetts. So I'm going to go deep into this. This is for anyone. We're just going to go into what this is all about. Like I said, there is no time as to when you need to watch this reading video. Oops, that was me on my other one. But you don't know when you need to watch this video reading. It doesn't, there's no time restraint on it. And it's just unlocking whatever needs to be unlocked in your body. So I'm super excited for this. And I'm happy you guys are all here. Thank you for joining me. So first things first, like this video helps a lot. It helps our family here on this space and it supports. And feel free to share this with anyone you feel called to. Two, as I'm doing this, I am offering readings. I never do this, guys. I am offering readings only for the time of this month. Now, if you watch the rerun months later or whatever, just check out my link tree. I'll have all my offerings there so you can keep in the loop. Best way to find out is through my email list. Email list fam, I just sent you an email with a very special offer for 5 of you. If you're not checking your email, you're sleeping. So go check it out. And last thing, plant medicine ceremonies, retreats are down below. They're very powerful and potent. So if you're feeling called to heal in a community, you resonate with plant medicine, you're curious about it, I encourage you to go into that. It'll be super amazing. Hello, Mahina. So yeah, I'm just really excited for this. So let's take a moment and let's reset the space before we go into this. So just closing down your eyes. Get comfortable here. Take a deep breath in. Exhale out. Deep breath in. Exhale out. Deep breath in. Exhale out. Another deep breath in. Letting it all go. Thanking the lands that hold us in the space. Thanking the Algonquin lands for allowing me to hold and channel whatever messages are meant for the collective for this day, a reminder of love. Allowing them to receive whatever messages at any timeline that they receive this video, and connecting and bringing healing to each and every single one of them. Calling in benevolent guides, highest timelines of ancestors, guardians and beings into the space, as well as cosmic beings. We invite you into this space, my benevolent beings, to hold protection in space, to hold us in this transformation that we are embarking as humans and souls in this lifetime. Allowing us to step into our hearts with love and compassion, unconditional love and forgiveness. We thank you. Aho makate. Okay. Opening your eyes when you're ready. Welcome, 2 2. Love that. 1 1. Guys, what's going on here? Y'all are really going in. Welcome to all those who just jumped in. Like I said, if you're meant to be here, you're meant to be here. Okay, so let's get into the card reading. I just want to first say that Valentine's Day triggers the ish out of everyone. Let me tell you why. Valentine's Day, whether you're single or not, it is a day of this reminder of where we feel lonely in our life, how we feel lonely, and how we push outside of ourselves to confine and find this sense of community and belonging. And the beauty about this day is a reminder for us to ask ourselves where we can bring more compassion. So let's see what the cards have to say. Oh, guys, it's already getting hot in here. Let me know if you guys can feel this. And as I'm pulling out the cards, I always say whatever energy goes, it flows. Like the video, put your energy in this space, but also think of your intention. What are you calling in for love? Like, where are you calling in love here? Okay. So let's start with here. Number one, some of you guys are getting dumped right before Valentine's Day or the day of, and it's very abrupt. It's not what you expected. Others are being reminded that this dumping that happened in the past, or maybe a separation, you're getting an opportunity to mend. I did mention right now as this date, even though I see this is a timeless reading, for the specific time of when I'm recording it this year, Valentine's Day, and this is going to be just for this time, is the biggest day to manifest. Best day to manifest. Venus is activated on this day, which means that not only is the world pushing us to buy chocolates and stuff for people, forget that, let's unplug from that, but it is the day that it's really bringing us an opportunity to really call in love in our life. So manifesting soulmates, manifesting a reconnection of ourselves and our hearts, and so much more. So you guys got the Observer card. Fox Spirit, that's been working with us the past few months. If you guys have been doing readings with me, you notice that I've been pulling out a lot of foxes. Anyone know that? If you do, put a fox emoji down below. I believe we have fox emojis here. Observer is calling us to observe what is tender on this day. How do you feel about this day? This is a day of love. Let's take away the commercialized perspective of Valentine's Day. What does love mean to you? Do you feel off when you see someone in a relationship? Does it make you feel uncomfortable? Does jealousy come up? Is this a time where you feel pressured to show and give your partner love, and to give your partner a gift, to show love, to compensate for something that might be strifed or something that is off in the relationship? Is this a time of the opposite end of that polarity where you feel that this is a time of celebration? You feel amazing, you feel magnetic, you feel pleasure, you feel love. That's also that side of it too. So what this day reminds us to do 3 days before the day of and 3 days after Valentine's Day in this reading is that we need to observe in our different emotions on this day, observe what's around us, what we're attracting, law of attraction on this day. Are we, really attracting people who are talking about breakups? Maybe we didn't break up with someone, but this is an opportunity to mend something that was once felt, something that was once wounded, right? The mending is coming up with the feminine card. There's 52 on this card, fives, twos. If you resonate with this, tune up the ears because this is big. So this is calling us to mend how maybe we were not appreciated in our emotions when we vocalized that in past relationships. Also, this is an opportunity to mend our own relationship with expressing love and what we were taught and conditioned as we were younger, moving on to our adult lives. This is also an opportunity to mend. And again, resonate with what this is a collective reading. Mend an opportunity for you to mend, a relationship, a sisterhood relationship. Some of you are being burned by a sister around this time. You are being burned by a feminine being, regardless of gender, just like a feminine being. And it's out of the womb, like you did not expect this. And this is really calling you to call in your boundaries. Okay. Valentine's Day isn't only about like love of like romance, intimacy. It's also like love in our relationships, like platonic relationships too. So like tuning into how do you feel betrayal is playing a role around this time for some of you? Like you're going to have to cut a sister out. I'm going to just say that. What I mean by that is you're going to have to like remove someone that is, constantly being attracted because of the wound that you haven't taken responsibility of. This is an opportunity for you to start healing your shadow work on your own. This day is going to trigger dependency, dependent relationships, dependency within yourself, and an opportunity for you to reclaim that to create space to receive manifestations. So I want to read this card because this card's fire. Again, let me know, guys, what's resonating with you. But this is a deep message, a very powerful one, and I feel like it's needed for the collective right now. And again, I only come on here when you guys know stuff's up. So, forgiveness, making amends and healing after an argument. So, again, this day may bring up like you saying why this person isn't showing up the way they should. They're not doing all the things. And that's coming out of comparison or out of fulfillment, out of a void. On the other side of that is calling forgiveness for yourself, being hard on yourself that you're single right now on this day. Maybe, it's so funny because people mask in a relationship and being single in two different energies depending on who you're talking to. So single, a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm single again. I'm single this Valentine's Day. Oh my God." Like you see that as a punishment. Why is it a punishment? Why do you see that? Is that because deep inside you feel like you are not loved enough or you don't have the right, abilities to attract your soulmate because you failed once or twice or that other past relationship didn't work out? No, it just means that this Valentine's Day is an opportunity for you to work and mend yourself, to work on yourself, to love yourself. And I'm not just saying like buy a box of chocolates, go in the tub. Like, I mean, an opportunity for you to do some healing and to really manifest what that looks like for you. How does it feel to fully feel fulfilled and loved without relying on needing a partner to create that for you? That's what's being mended here. So it's forgiving yourself for feeling like you aren't enough to be loved. You aren't enough to have a partner. That is the block that's here that's being initiated and triggered on this Valentine's Day and Valentine's Day in general. So I really want to bring this into your like, how do I remove this unwanted burden? This is what's coming up. Like feeling like this understanding. What do you feel like people don't understand? What do you feel like people that you've dated didn't understand about you emotionally? That is what's being healed in this portal on Valentine's Day. And again, free will. At the end of the day, I always say this with all my videos, and I think this is important, even with my client today. And this is what inspired me to come on here is like this client went through deep, deep healing, has done years of healing. And I said, just come in, see like what the space is. And they said they've never experienced something like that. And it was because they decided to choose to look at the burden they were holding and walk through the door for healing to mend, to see it from a different perspective. So, what would it look like for you right now if you were to see your life, whether you're single or not, or in a relationship, or have friends or don't have friends, and to look at it and see how can I see this as not a burden, but rather an opportunity for me to step away from being a victim that no one loves me, everyone abandons me, I am not good enough, all that talk that's in the back of my head. And that's actually a wounded version of myself. Instead of burdening and like ignoring, can't even speak, ignoring that version of myself and completely disassociating myself, I am then bypassing a memory that is painful, that is wanting to come and heal, that is being triggered through the subconscious of what's going on in the world on Valentine's Day. So here it's like now is the time to mend rifts, to mend wounds, to letting go of old hurts and reclaiming power, right? How can I get a reading? You can book down below 15 minutes, 30 minutes. I only offer them during this time of me posting it now. And then if you guys see the recording, just add yourself to the email list so you can make sure you know when. But I do have readings for a few spots. So go book ASAP. So this card is really saying like how now is the time to forgive, to release, to make peace, to be amend, right? To be amend of yourself. How can I come into peace? Like you are not being punished for being single. Can we stop putting that in culture? Like pop culture does this all the time. They tell us how like, oh, you're single, you're punished. Like, all these ads that we see online, it's like almost like it's a burden. And then there's the other side of that. Like, oh, you gotta buy your partner gifts and yada yada yada. Like, wow, where did we come? Where did humans come from? Like, why have we gotten to this place? Right? And it's up to us. This is why you're watching this video, because we are now recognizing that burden and being like, I can do this anytime I want. I can buy chocolates on March 30th, or I can buy chocolates on August 11th. Like, it doesn't matter. But what this is teaching us, and why I am going to say that it's an opportunity for us, is through the collective focus of how we as a collective are being shamed for not giving people things outside of ourselves to consider worthy. Absolutely ridiculous, right? So here is like, let's step out of that bubble and let's feel amends with that. Let's mend that. Let's redefine what this word means, love. And let's allow ourselves to practice it every single day. Let's see what other card is coming out. Thank you, Nova, for helping and supporting the channel. I really appreciate you. Never ending story. Guys, we've been getting this for the past 2-3 moons. If you've been following, like, y'all need to listen. We do not need, when I sneeze, that means it's like deep. We do not need, it's gonna come up. We do not need this to be reminded again and again. Stop looking at what was done already. Stop being in the past. One of my favorite quotes, guys, is you can never bring yesterday back. Yesterday, you can never bring it back. But what you can do is follow the unknown, the part of you that is terrified to observe, and to connect with that mending part of you. And lean into it, because it's just going to get louder if you ignore it, right? So, oh, here we go. Regeneration. So this card represents that something that happened in the past that maybe you failed at. So for example, maybe dating, maybe you dated people in the past and you're like, no one is it. Like, but you have to keep in mind, and I was telling someone the other day, one of my clients, I was saying, like, you do know that when you healed a year ago and this came up, you were a completely different person. And you are a different person today, and you'll be a different person tomorrow and the day after that. So why in the world would you pretend like you know how you're supposed to heal this if you have a new pair of lens right now, if your glasses prescription has changed, right? So regeneration is like, revisit those like tender spaces. And some of you are bleeding around this time. Women's over here that are bleeding on your bleed on this day, oh my gosh, your womb's going to be feeling great the next cycle, because right now what you're doing is you're shedding the shame that you've had for not being a good partner. You're shedding the shame of not feeling loved enough. You're shedding the shame of feeling, whatever way that the masculine has put pressure on you on how you should act, what you got to buy at the lingerie store to make yourself feel amazing, to give to the ideology of what sensuality and being attractive is. We are throwing that out and we are mending it during this Valentine's Day. I want to ask you something, everyone here. What ways have you felt pressured to be a certain way with your partners in the past? What ways have you felt pressured? Okay, let me give you an example. I'm going to put myself on the spot so we'll connect here. I remember at one point when I was in my party days, for those who don't know, I used to work in fashion and whatnot. And I used to wear all the dresses, wear all the things. And I loved, honestly, I'm so grateful for that lifetime. It was a fun time, obviously not for today, but it was a lifetime. And when I was experiencing that life, when I was experiencing that experience at that time, I would wear all the tight clothes and all the things in fashion. And some of the things I would wear, I did not like absolutely at all. But I would do anything to just get in as many compliments as possible during that day, because that would be considered I was more valuable in the space. I was known. I was more, loved and inspired. Regeneration is just saying, like, going back to that version of you when you did buy these dresses and you did spend countless of money for the fashionable designer stuff at the time. That part of you wants to come up and feel felt. Now, on the term of Valentine's Day, go back to the version of you that last time you got dumped, or last time you were dwelling about the burden of you being single, or last time you were running all over the place trying to get roses when you know they're overpriced on this day. So we just started. No worries, Elena. I'm on my cycle, so this speaks deep. Yes, this is shedding. Like, I start my cycle tomorrow, y'all. So I feel you. And this is why I'm probably feeling so much channeling. And I'm going to go in my womb cave after this. Um, However, I do love to channel a moon video during that time, but then I just like kind of be by myself. Um, so here, going back to it, guys, I just really think this is an opportunity for you and for us to just stay outside of the past. I I just think it's so important. Like, what part of your old self are you avoiding? And take away the definition of Valentine's Day and like the pressure of it and just tune into what it's triggering, single or not. Building blocks. You're building through the mending. This is the future. You are now building a new space. It feels like your heart is born again. And like I said, this Valentine's Day specifically for this time is a great time to manifest. Great time to manifest. Great manifestation portal. Anything on loving yourself, love, self-acceptance, self-love, wellness, anything for just like receiving yourself, loving your inner child, loving your teen self, loving the part of you after a big breakup or trauma that you experience. Like, this is an opportunity for you to mend in this portal. And on the other side of that, bring in what you want to seed in that space. Now, for some of you, you guys are getting some. Can I just say this is a very fertile day? So, any of you who do not want a baby anytime soon, just the Venus is active. So, in other words, baby's about to come. So, any of you who do, this is a great day to manifest that and bring that loving connection with a partner if that's something that you want to do. But again, if you don't, just saying it's an extra fertile time, even if you're on your moon. You get what I'm talking about. You understand what I'm talking about. So that's all I had to say with that. Spirit was like, okay, I think they get it. Last two cards I got for you guys before I switch my deck is the Why and the To Be Fair. Okay. So to be fair, going back to yourself, be fair to yourself. Like, how many of us, whether you're single or not, like, let's be fair to ourselves. Spirit's also sharing with me that, like, some of you probably were not treated fairly in the past. So you just assume that the person you're with can't love you and give you the love that you've never known before. And this brings like a feeling to me because I think some of you have never been able to trust your partner and show your partner the way that you have. Oh, guys, this is hitting. So what I mean by that is that, like, maybe in the past you've had an abusive relationship or someone who's just emotionally not there because they were going through their own thing. Or maybe like you ended up going into the relationship and you pulled away because you just honestly you could not hold what was being triggered. I always say you don't get to know yourself until you're in a relationship with someone. Then you really start to get to know yourself. Until you meet someone and you're in a relationship, or even if you're like in a close relationship, like a great sister, a great like soul that you just like really connect with, that's really when you get to know yourself, right? Because you're learning outside of your ego. You're learning within from a different perspective. Someone's able to mirror you for you to heal if you choose to. And as humans, sometimes we bypass that because it's too much. And we're like, it's too vulnerable. We were taught this is too emotional. This is whatever. So when we come back to those of you who are in a relationship or dating someone and you're feeling things you've never felt before, you've shared parts of you beyond this that you haven't before, it feels so emotional. And this day is going to feel a little more emotional for you because, again, it's something that you've never experienced. But I'm just here to share that it is okay to trust it. This person means well. It's just a love you've never experienced before. And maybe that person is actually teaching you something that your younger self wished they knew. Maybe they're actually exposing you to a love that your younger self wished they had because maybe your father wasn't really emotionally available or physically around. Or maybe your mother was just like too busy with life and trying to heal and trying to get through the things and trying to just be a mother. And it was overwhelming along with life and the pressures of society. It was too much. Or maybe you honestly, and this is going deep, maybe some of you didn't have a relationship with your parents and love was just an empty space, a definition that had no definition, that had no comparison, that had no experience to explore. So I just want you guys to know that the beauty that you have having a partner that might have had a different upbringing than you is actually a space of a playground for you to get to learn from their eyes and for you to cultivate together a new definition of that. And during Valentine's Day, this is kind of where you get to be pushed a little bit to mend those things through experience and really coming in and saying, Spirit, like, I trust this person. I'm open to my heart. Now, on the other end of you guys, some of you are getting some exposure of just seeing how this person just ain't for you. And it isn't a matter of like what chocolates, what roses they brought you or whatever. Some of you are just going through a breakup. Like, I have seen so many people go through a breakup recently. And it's interesting because 2 weeks ago, before I channeled this, I was like, I have a feeling that a lot of people are purging relationships. And it makes sense, right? Because we just had, coming to the time, remove this, what I'm about to say, if you see this later on. But we just had the Leo full moon. The Leo full moon was all about heart, rejection, like how we reject ourselves, how we've been rejected. So like when we purge that and we let go of that, obviously we're going to let go of the dependent relationships that we felt like we had to be in because we were less than and we thought we were less than. So we just settled for whatever, right? But now our future self is like changed, done the healing, and was like, okay, wait, maybe I'm changed. Maybe I have changed. And maybe this relationship does not fulfill me because I've let go of the shadow. I've mended what I needed to mend. And this is why I had to go through this breakup. This is why I had to let go of this relationship. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. And then there's the other beauty where it's like, are you willing to allow someone to see all of you as a new version and allow them to adapt to you? Be patient. So whatever feels like resonates with you on those two spectrums, two perspectives, I suggest you to tune into that. Okay, souls? Last thing is your why. Our why comes to our heart. I'm feeling it right here, guys. Our why always comes back to our heart. You know, one of the interesting things I always share with people is that sometimes we need to go and check and see if the grass is on the greener on the other side for us to realize that it was never greener. And when we get back to that other grass that we thought was not the best, we find something's different, right? Because we feel like we've went through all this trek of most of our life trying to get on that other grass. And when we find out, wow, it wasn't actually greener. What I mean by that is like, maybe some of you are also going through this Valentine's Day that you're like, you had all this plan about how you wanted to be in this relationship, where you wanted to be in life. You didn't want to be single. You wanted to be in whatever your situation is. But removing title, just imagine what it would feel like to be like, okay, let's remove all that. But what if I was just able to accept what's here right now as part of my journey to open up my heart, whether that's me accepting that I have to go through suffering to realize that I've been rejecting receiving and wanting the hard way because I thought that was the way life and love was supposed to be. Or on the other side of that, rejecting that I'm in the breakup, rejecting that I cannot make this relationship work or had this past relationship that's bringing in emotions. And this is an opportunity for me to like move into that, or with your battle with yourself, where it's like, wow, there's a lot of parts of me that feels uncomfortable being in my own body, being in my own spirit, being in this journey, being at this point of my journey where I am at. And this Valentine's Day is an opportunity, a portal for you, literally a portal to allow you to touch something deeper in you that you haven't for a while. And that is the beauty. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm channeling this message for you guys, and why it's so important for this untold medicine is you are getting an opportunity to mend something that is from the past of lifetimes and generations of wanting to heal through the heart. I didn't have an opportunity to. And you're observing it moments between the Valentine's Day and after, and you have a choice. It's like what's it called? What's that movie you guys are gonna know? Red pill, blue pill, where they have the two pills and they're like, choose your destiny. It's the most spiritual movie ever. You know what I'm talking about? If you know what it is, fam, put it in the comments. Red pill or blue pill. It's like you gotta choose one, right? And when you choose one, that's everything in life. There's a choice. And neither one is wrong at the end of the day. Like in the movie, we'd find out Matrix. Yes, thank you. Neither one's wrong. They're both amazing. But it's just like, what is the lesson you receive? What is the experience you receive? Now, if I rejected that, I am now saying and titling it and judging it as wrong, right? So on this Valentine's Day, am I rejecting something within me or outside of me? Or am I actually allowing myself to receive it? And on the other side, am I accepting everything in the moment that something goes wrong? I'm like, okay, everything that I accepted before means nothing to me, right? So, guys, this is a really big thing. If, again, this day I'd highly suggest you like really manifesting self-love, working self-love practices. Gratitude's really good in the mornings. Asking yourself, what am I triggered about? If you are single, when someone's in a relationship, what triggers me seeing someone in a loving relationship? Is it because my parents went through a divorce? Is it because I didn't really see that in my household? And then on the other end of that, like what triggers me about the commercialization of this masculine world telling me that I need to go outside of myself to be accepted? What is triggered there? And then the last thing, there's always more. The last thing is that what triggers me feeling that I need to go back and heal something that wasn't done the right way. And this is coming up for a lot of past breakups. Like, I'm not saying recently, I'm talking about far, but you've been thinking about them around this time. And I think the biggest thing that's coming up for me is like back to that phrase, you can never bring yesterday back. But what you can do is do what you can now. And it's the mending, it's the observing, it's the realizing what is alive still in you and how you can bring compassion and forgiveness back to that. The last card you guys have is take charge and authority. I love this. Really what it is. You got to take action. Take action where it needs to be. Stop turning a blind eye. Is there anything else, ancestors, that we need to know? Yes, there is. Fire. Ignite passions. For you guys who want a baby, like I said, this day is like fertile. And for those who don't, but you can still ignite that fertile energy into an abundance or manifesting something like a business, manifesting into, I don't know, an opportunity, manifesting some money. Capricorn energy is really money. Like any Capricorns here, let me know with an emoji, but like Capricorn is that money of the universe energy. Okay, talking from a Capricorn rising. That is the energy that is like, okay, what do we need to do? It's the Lord. It's like, let's get it done. Let's be in these abundant. And I'm not talking about money only. I'm talking about like feeling nurtured, feeling like and it's the biggest battle in the world too for Capricorns, but it's like, it's balanced. It is constantly in a space of being nurtured and asking yourself, if you don't want a baby this day and you don't want to start a family, then this is an opportunity for you to set some intentions to bring some money's abundance, taking care of opportunities, new home, like whatever it is, just opportunities. Okay. So those are the cards that came up. Let me know, guys, how are you feeling for this Valentine's Day? I'm gonna leave you with some shadow work prompts because I know y'all love that, and I know I love them too. So it's great. So if you are in a space where you resonate with a lot with what's going on with single, okay, I want you to tune in. Whew, I'm just like really feeling that in the heart, guys, for you guys. I want you to tune into your heart and I want you to write down the shadow work prompt. What is being triggered around me that makes me feel uncomfortable being alone during Valentine's Day? Okay. And if you're saying, Shika, I don't know what you're talking about, there's something subconsciously. You're on this channel for a reason. You're watching this video for a reason. Write it down. Something will flow in. Trust me. The second thing, if you're in a relationship, I got a couple for you. If you're in a relationship, I want you to write down the shadow work prompt for Valentine's Day is just focusing on, what are the pressures I put on myself during this day? What comes up? It could be gifts, it could be whatever. Now, beyond this day, see how you play that role and when that happens, right? So for example, if you feel like you need to get certain flowers, or you feel like you need to have the best dinner, or you need to make sure you wear some nice lingerie, like why does what outside of you, is this for you or is this for anyone else? Okay. You can go back to it. I'll have it on the channel, Yanni. Because when I channel, I don't remember. So some people will be like, Shika, what did you say? I'm like, go back to the video. I usually don't remember it. I don't remember what I just said because I was channeling it. The second thing is like asking yourself, like I said, tuning into how you go outside of yourself, outside of the relationship. I'm going to leave one other thing that came up this morning when I was working out, and it's great for people in relationships, is that when you're in a relationship, you're supposed to encourage each other to be better, not to rely on each other or not to feel like what one person's doing is taking away from the other. So for example, if you want to do your dream job and your partner probably takes some time to get around, that's fine. But they're in a space where they are pushing you and saying, what are you doing? And like trying to talk you out of it. Does that person want the best for you? Sit with that, right? Sometimes they are coming from a loving space, but most of the time it's coming from them feeling like they're something's being taken away from them once you become your own. And this is why dependent relationships are being so triggered on this portal, because it's really showing us where are we being dependent in our relationships and our partners as well, right? A relationship is supposed to make you feel better, right? How would it feel for you to just say, I got a huge promotion, I need to go halfway across the world? And your partner's like, yes, I want to support you with that. We're going to do it. We're going to make it work. Like, if this is something we've been talking about for ages, you've been telling me this for ages. And keep in mind, catch yourself. Have you been communicating these things with your partner? Or is it all only in the mind and you've been scared to express your communication of your throat chakra and say, this is what I'm here for. This is my needs. This is what I've been working on. This is my healing. Like, your partner has to be part of your healing. I'm going to say this right now. If you're doing shadow work and healing and you're in a relationship and your partner does not know what you're doing, there is like so much of yourself that they don't know. And how can they meet you and support you and hold you in your space if you're not showing them all of you? And I'm not saying that you have to do it right away, but I'm just saying, like, I have met so many people. I've had clients in the past that literally do their sessions with their partner not home, and they plan it that way because they feel uncomfortable. It's not because of the noise or because they feel uncomfortable. And for me, when I see that, I say, I can't work with you, because for me, you have to be comfortable in your space. You can be in the basement in a different room. It doesn't mean they have to be in the same room as you. But if you feel like you can't show a part of yourself or do what you're doing, you have to hide it, what's in the dark will come into the light eventually. And it's going to be even harder because you spent all this time working on yourself. You're going to feel like, man, I really don't feel connected to my partner. Well, yes, you've been hiding a part of you. So why would they feel connected? And why is it fair for you to put that pressure on them when you haven't shared it to them? Take the responsibility. This is the healing and the ego part that I need to share with you guys. So again, remember, relationships are supposed to help each other. It's not going to be easy. It's a choice, right? To be with this soulmate that you have. It's a choice. But what makes it easier is if you both can communicate as much as you can. And that means sometimes on those days that it's hard, right? You know, you might feel right now after going through a huge healing or through a huge ceremony, or some of them that I've done a retreat with, medicine retreats. Some of you who are out here who've been to my medicine retreats, you guys know when you go back home, you're like, this feels different. This is so different. And sometimes it's the opposite. It's like, I feel so held by my partner. Sometimes it's like, I feel like we're like two different people learning how to date again. Yes, that's okay. Don't judge it. So for those in relationships, that's what I'm giving you. Those dating, this is your manifesting portal. Do not undercompensate. Okay. If that person, you've been dating them for a while, like, this is your time to sit and see, like, okay, what do I want to feel? Not what do I want? What do I want to feel with this person? What does it feel like to be with the highest frequency of love that is right for me at this time? Write that down. What does it feel like to be at the highest frequency of love for someone that I need at this time? What I said just a while ago. This is what you need to focus on, because that is going to open a whole bunch of portals for you. And then you know what's going to happen? Universe is just going to pick out all the dates that are just like not for you. And yeah, it's going to be like, oh, well, why didn't this date work out? This person, blah, blah, blah. No, honey, universe is taking them out because they're not worth your time. Yes, rejection is a protection. Get with that. Rejection is protection. Rejection literally is protection. Can't say it enough. So, and for those of you in relationships in the sense of friendships, soul community, ask yourself, how can I feel appreciated? What does it feel like to be appreciated by my community? And what does it feel like to contribute appreciation and gratitude to my community? Is it balanced? Does it feel like a space that it feels aligned? If it does, yes. If it doesn't, well, okay. I know this is deep, guys. I know you're saying it's deep. I know it's deep, but this is deep on all levels because you know I bring it real with you guys. And if it's not for you, then maybe it's not for you. And I resonate with that because I know the medicine that it's supposed to go to, it's supposed to go to New Orleans. And I trust that. Okay. So sit with those prompts. Don't worry. It'll be up here for you guys. And like I said, this reading is for you whenever you're meant to. Let's get you one card before we close the circle here together. Do want to remind you guys right now as I'm recording this, I have readings and all my offerings down below. And for you guys who are, all of you, because you're on here, if you're interested in moons, cycles, all that stuff, get yourself a planner. It's only $22. It's a moon planner, annual planner, goes over shadow work prompts, so much more beyond the videos. And if you're doing that with the videos, it's going to help you because that's what I base my videos on. And it even gives you like prompts, journal prompts, rituals, like all the things. You'll be good to go. You're going to go back to this after a year and be like, who am I? Only $22. And if you really just like, I want to try it out, you're still kind of cold feet. I even have the only 1 month for February. It's $5. So you can get it down below. And then readings, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. And for those on email list, go check your email. I just gave you a huge gift and respond to it ASAP because those things are going to fill up. Those who are on the email list, add yourself, thank me later. Okay, I think that's it for cards. That's coming out. There's 2 for you. Grief. Ooh, that's probably what I'm feeling from some of y'all. So, okay, I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. So for some of you who are grieving at this time, grieving a breakup, grieving a loss of a baby, that's coming up a lot recently for people. And I'm sending love for anyone who has recently lost a baby. A loss of just like loss of self. That's huge. I'm sending you love for that. Loss of a relationship, loss of a family member, whatever way that on the other energy of love is loss, is grief. I want you to come into 333. I love that. To understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. When we lose something, we appreciate something in ourselves, and we appreciate something in them. Even in a place of pain and hurt and anger, there is still appreciation there. Even in the worst breakup you've had, there is a lesson of appreciation there. Trust me. The last thing is fear. I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. Okay. If I'm fear, that just literally means for me to come to love. When I get fear, it's telling me, how can I find love in this specific area of my life? I need to bring energy to love in this specific area. Perfect time for Valentine's Day. So when there's fear coming up, anxiety in any way on the stage, just remember the fear. Fear is an opportunity to explode that heart with love. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was really fun hanging out with you. Your girl's going to go and chill. But in the meantime, book your readings, get that lunar planner so you can have the best year ever, and add yourself to the email list. Thank me. And come to a plant medicine retreat. I want to see y'all there. Like, I love you guys so much. And I'd love, love, love to hold you. If it feels like it's resonant, check it out down below and apply through the Google form. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, send this video to a friend, and comment down below what resonated with you. Make some friends because we all love friends here. And I will see you guys soon. I love you. Thank you for entering the portal. Mwah. Bye. Have a great Valentine's Day. Love you.